It's in the game.
Need another life, give me a break. Need another life, oh, need another life, give me a break. Need another life,
Live from the London Stadium, a pivotal moment in the Women's Super League. If Manchester United win this match today, then they have the chance to overhaul Chelsea finally in the league when the two meet at Old Trafford. Well, here we are at the London Stadium for Manchester United taking on West Ham United here for match day 19. Just 3 or 4 games to go now in the Women's Super League, and the return of Ella Toone couldn't have come any better for United today. Hayley Ladd is still out, but Toone has returned, and she is right back in the starting lineup as Mike Skinner now is really throwing everything he can just to keep pace in this title race. They've done very well so far. They've pulled away now from Manchester City, so they will be more or less guaranteed second no matter what happens. And I believe with that positioning, Manchester United may have already made it to next year's Champions League if that happens. I think there's still a mathematical chance, but now all eyes are on ahead for Mike Skinner starting with today. The West Ham lineup is more or less the same that played in the reverse fixture in which Manchester United scored another kind of high-scoring win at that time. It's a bit of a... It's basically throwing everything at defence to try and keep United out this afternoon. And I think every team is trying to adopt this strategy. But now it just seems that no one can stop them scoring. And with the return of Ella Toone, who is United's top scorer, aside from Jose, I think, that's going to be some task if West Ham can pull it off today. It is the traditional formation and kind of, well, not formation, but the traditional squad today, let's say. Of course, Elizabeth Tilland is the woman up front. Took out more goals as she's really come of age this year. I think the only noticeable change is George in the centre of defence partner Letitia today. The objective is just to keep the score down, but more to keep them out. As Kingsbury has, I think, 4 or 5 clean sheets, which I think puts her level with the majority of players this year. I think if this keeps up, we could have 5 or 6 players sharing the Golden Glove Award. And Kingsbury, considering she came in for the last 10 or so games of the season, that's actually quite an impressive feat, considering she came in later. So she has done wonders for this team. She has been the most valuable signing of the winter window, and she's really changed the fortunes of this team around. Now they can't stop winning, and it's vital, considering they still have that 2-point gap to overhaul Chelsea. It is really going to come down to that game at Stamford Bridge. And that's why United need to keep winning, at least up to now, or up to them at least. Kingsbury makes a good early save. And that is what she was bought for. And I wonder where United will go going into next season, because Rachel Williams is obviously, I think, the only one approaching the end of her contract. So it'll be interesting to see if Mike Skinner actually makes any further signings in the next transfer window. I don't think he needs to. I think the squad is pretty much set for probably multiple titles, especially over the next 3 seasons, let's say. And Kingsbury, like we said, was the most vital one. But she's kind of not on the wrong side of 30, but Kingsbury is still very capable in her own right, but they will have to plan after her at some point. I think that's when the Wolfsburg keeper might be called upon, because she was the original kind of person to come in. Of course, Fiona Dodds could do well, but we haven't really seen much of her at all. because Kingsbury's been so vital in this title race. Because it's been so tight, really, there hasn't been a spot for Fiona Dodds at all. I don't think she's played. I think she played one half earlier, didn't she? I think it was against Brighton, I think it was, or Manchester City in those two games where Manchester United scored 15 goals in two. But I think since then, I don't think Dodds has played at all. So we'll have to keep an eye and see what happens there. Here's UK, and you missed that. West Ham coming out of the gate swinging. They need to probably score quickly. That could be a strategy using against Mike Skinner's team. If you don't score in the first maybe 15-20 minutes, and United do get a foothold in the game, they usually run away with it. I think that's what Arsenal and Chelsea benefited from earlier in the season when they beat this Manchester United side. But even when the side had been hugely depleted over the last month or so with Ella Toon out, Jesse out, and Ladd out, United have weathered the storm, and that's why Ella Toon's comeback today has been so warmly welcomed by Mike Skinner and his team. Nawson's really come of age this season as well. It's been Tiernan that's actually been the surprise standout, and here she is, and she is going to score. And that is why Elizabeth Tiernan has really come of age this season. She's really done well in Toon, Ladd, and Jose's absences. And she has been the scoring force, and she gets another. And I think that puts her right in the running for the Golden Boot race. Unbelievably, she's played a lot less games than the other two that are involved in it. But I think 4 of Manchester United's players are in this Golden Boot race at the moment, and Tiernan is one of them. And she gets another one to her total today. 1-0 to United already. That's all they need to do. It's never as simple as it looks. But Manchester United have made it look easy. So how many's that now? I think she's at least in double figures. Hopefully we'll get an overlay on the screen. Seem to get a lot less overlays in Women's Super League games. I think it's something that maybe EA would want to kind of fix up next year. We haven't had a lot of overlays and updates during the games. A lot of the games this season have had no concurring matches, so there's no real point to bring those up. Oh, and Ella Toon is down again. It's down for a corner, but thankfully she's straight back up. And that would have probably been a heart-in-mouth moment there for a split second. But Toon is back on her feet. And here's Galton with the corner. A bit of a set-piece specialist this season. And that's not a bad-looking one either. And here's Samantha Kerr with a shot. It was blocked away. And the West Ham player raised her arms for a moment. I'm not sure why. She's probably looking for more help. If only Tiernan had got a foothold there. That was really unfortunate. She went in for the tackle and it overstepped her mark by a couple of inches and went into the West Ham player as a result. And that's easily cleared up by Maya Letitia. And it was Lee Menguin that got the block there. Just, run on the back of the ball with Blundell today. And like we said, she's thrived in the second half of the season despite losing the captain's lead to Kingsbury, really. And Tiernan couldn't get past Zayas there. Of course, the way signings work in the Women's Super League is drastically different because the wage structure is different in the game. A lot of the women of the game have tried to get a lot more of an even payment with the men's teams. I mean, I'm one of those people that think the men are somewhat grossly overpaid, to be honest. I think it'd be better to have their wage slashed, but football is not just a sport anymore. It is a business. And I kind of understand that. That's a great save from Kingsbury again. Should the ladies get more? I think so. I already think that really because the men's wages are quite extortionate. But like we said, I'm not a critic of it. I understand what it is because as I just said, football is more of a business than a sport these days. Long gone are the days where players like the great Sir Bobby Charlton and the like, played for, well, peanuts, really. It's 4 times less than any player, even the role players get today, is much larger, let's say, than Bobby Charlton had it. You could probably argue that those players did play for the love of the game. Those days are very much long gone. Times have really changed in this sport, and as we said earlier this season, it's a fast-moving world these days. But the possibility of a real feel-good story for Manchester United in a season that has been turbulent, really, to say the least. If these women can pull off a league win, then they'll probably go down in folklore, to be honest, and so they should. Even without Mary Epps, who left at the end of last season after a glorious career to a degree, or a United part of it anyway, she is playing for Saint-Germain now, and Marlon gets the ball and comes up with it again. And Simet with a good double save, to be fair. It would probably just be as much of a feel-good story as the women Lionesses winning the European Championship. It would probably be on the same level, to be honest. For Manchester United fans, they'll be in dreamland. Some have even said that maybe Mike Skeer should take control of the men's team. Obviously, he's not allowed to do that currently. Tilland is in. And she's going to score. She makeshift that one. And that is a good goal. Tilland made that all her own work. And she is just thriving right now. It's another goal for her. Wow, wonderful. She burst with speed and then just made this all her own work. That was wonderfully done from such an acute angle. And to hit it as it was coming on the way down. That is a beautifully taken goal. Elizabeth Tilland, take a bow. That was wonderful. And that is just really synonymous of Manchester United, at least in the second half of the season. They've been literally unbeatable almost to a degree. I don't think they have lost in this winter break so far. 15 in 14 for Tilland now, so I believe that puts her at the top of the scoring chart. So, for someone who rarely started at the beginning of the season, Elizabeth Tilland has really come from nowhere. And she's taken it. She's taken her opportunities. And that's all you could ask. Especially if Manchester United are in this title race. Well, United are in this title race, obviously. But that's all you can ask from a team in this situation. But it is, like we said, probably going to go down to that game at Old Trafford. Between United and Chelsea, which I think is in a couple of games' time. And here's Tilland. And it's a save by Simic. The last 2 games for United's Women's Super League season is against Manchester City and Arsenal. Arsenal, of which are one of the teams that have very few teams that have been able to beat United this year. And that's what Chelsea will be hoping for when they come to face them in a couple of days' time. If they win it, they more or less win the league. If Manchester United win it, then they go 1 point clear, but it'll probably go down to the final day as a result, unless Chelsea drop points between then and the end of the season, which seems very unlikely, considering that the Chelsea squad has been on an absolute tear this season. And they're doing spins. And it's forced that out for a throw. And Ella too was literally running at the line, and she's actually thrown it in towards Helen in the box. And here's Norsen now, and that was wonderfully worked. Well, credit Ella too for the throw, that's for sure. Well, the London Stadium is a wonderful place. And as we reported earlier this season, it may be a part of the reason that Arsenal rumours are they're looking to expand. the Emirates Stadium in the next couple of years or so. And with this newest facility and Spurs' newest facility, I think that makes sense. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Zano taken by Sam Kerr, tries to whip it back in. I think she hit the wrong part of the ball, but United will come up with it anyway. Well, it's fair to say that Laetitia has also come back very well indeed, because when she went down, United did struggle a bit. But since her return, United's defence has been almost rock solid. They have conceded the odd goal or two, but they've always gone on to win those games anyway. Was with a header. To Marland. Marland will shoot, and it's straight at Simic, the goalkeeper. Also will shoot. Oh, probably could have picked out Taylor, to be fair. It's actually out for a corner, amazingly. Not sure, but it was something. I didn't even see it get saved by the keeper or deflected off a West Ham player. So now Galton will take this corner. Towards Maya Laetitia, of all people. Well, very much like the Arsenal in the Premier League this year, the corners have been the Achilles heel of the teams we've watched. Zuki, oh, she lost control for the moment, but she has got the ball back. Parvey tackled by Rivera immediately. Great tackle. She read that perfectly. Oh, and Toon has gone down again, but referee is looking to play advantage. Toon is back to her feet. And Marlon now. She loses the ball. Well played by the defender. 2 minutes about it on time. Harvey and George with another great tackle. It seems like being one of those afternoons where Manchester United do everything right. And they certainly have in the first 45 minutes. 2-0 leaders at the break. Elizabeth Taylor getting both goals. And United being absolutely solid in defence. It's going to be a long second half for West Ham. They need to try and find something, but United really do look unbeatable this afternoon, leading by 2-0 at the break here. As the Bubbles take to the pitch, we start the second half here at the London Stadium. And you join us for the second half. United lead by 2-0, and that tells the whole story, as it has been all United so far. Sabali has come on for Sam Kerr in a United substitution. And on we go. As the famous bubbles start to dissipate and we start seeing the pitch again. Well, West Ham need to find something here because Manchester United really just look in control of this whole fixture so far. Oh my, Laetitia was really heavily pressured there. They were probably lucky to get out of that one. Vera is pushed a bit more forward than she used to. Wilson has actually gone up with Taylor to run with her, and she's got the ball here, and she's scored a wonder goal. United 3, West Ham 0. There's almost a formality here. Even players like Norson are getting on the act now. United have had so many different avenues of scoring. And I think it has really told for a lot, especially in the second half of this Women's Super League season, where United have not lost a game, I don't think. And they'd like to continue that today. Manchester United already home and dry at this moment by 3-0. A great piece of defending there from Letitia. And now here's Ella too. Look how much space she has. Oh, and she almost exploited it with a Worthy, but unfortunately it was just over the bar. The keeper was scrambling. And Latu thought she'd take the shot on. With the resulting goal kick. Well, that tells the whole story. 8-4 shots on target. As Pupil has come on for Emma Harries in a West Ham substitution. And a great tackle. Well, United have been rock solid defensively, and Kingsbury has stayed where it counts. Ella Toon goes down again. And it's almost like she's being targeted by West Ham. It's obviously not the case, but that's a few times she's gone down under a challenge now. I wonder if Mike Skinner will probably look to take her off, just as a safety precaution, really, because that's 3 times that Toon has gone down, and she's only just come back from injury. So Mike Skinner would be very smart to take her off at any moment now. Especially with United having the ascendancy in this game. Used to Parvey. And again, just no way through. With Letitia and George tackling as well as they are. They're reading every play before it even has a chance to develop. That's a wonderful pass. Somali has a lot of space here. She's going to burst into the box. She's been known to be quite speedy. Oh! She almost got a whirly there. Somali has come out from nowhere and done wonderfully well since her debut. Probably one of the young standouts for maybe the young player of the year right now, if there is one, which I believe there is in the Women's Super League, I'm not sure. But if there is one, then she might be in the running for it. Bad pass by Toon. Now United actually have to defend here. Letitia, brick wall. So much so that Uke has gone down hurt. Well, that wasn't intentional. The referee's played on. West Ham play on, even with one of their own players down. I think she is slowly getting to her feet now. West Ham manager will want to keep an eye on that. As I think it's West Ham that get a throw. And Barrage Nato is going to... Oh no, Sisse is going to... Actually, it's a free kick. Sisse is taking it. So there's a free kick. Didn't really see a lot wrong there. Maybe I missed that one. Or maybe that was brought back for the earlier, maybe injury. I don't know. Sano and Kingsbury gathers that one up. The player that was there amongst her probably would have been offside anyway. So it was probably best to let it roll to the keeper. Oh, there, that's a poor pass. And that's exactly not what United need right now. George with great defending. Did she handball it? The referee says yes. And it's a free kick to West Ham United. Well, rather unfortunate, really. Normally, that would be given as benefit of the doubt with the ball being hit so hard. But her arms were used to stop the ball, and she gained it as well. So that's probably why it was given, to be fair. Now, what can West Ham make from this free kick here? Gonna take it. Oh, it's not too far away. Well, I think the only option was really shoot. There was no one really in the box to pass it to. And I'll tell you something. That's not a bad effort at all. Right round and over the wall. Kingsbury somewhat, not scrambly, but definitely had to watch it. That was a very good attempt. There's Jojo and Parvey, and George is back to defend. That's two. Again, tries to take off. Mizuno reads it perfectly and passes back to the keeper. Well, I think United are not in cruise control, but they're certainly just keeping as much control of the game as they can. They've probably taken the foot off the gas a little bit now that they're 3-0 up. And here come West Ham to get a consolation, maybe, perhaps. Though it could turn into more, you never know. But Rivera clears it away. United just doing what they need to do now. And Sutil with a shot. Straight at Kingsbury. She does a really hefty throw, but United momentarily lost the ball there, but they do get it back. Here's Toot again. She's been all over West Ham this afternoon with everything but a goal. And here she goes. And she's got clear of her marker there, and it falls safe with the keeper. Toon's been deserving of a goal this afternoon. Holton with the corner. And Simic with the gather again. She had a good second half, but United have already done all the damage in terms of the scoreline. Look at George. She read that developing and picked it off. Wonderfully done. And now United come forward. Here's Elizabeth Tillin for a hat-trick. She finds Nelson instead for a second. Wonderful play. If Manchester United do not win this league, it will be a crime shame. Because they are playing some of the most wonderful football, certainly, that Old Trafford will have seen this season. Even though we're not at Old Trafford today. Tillin picking out Nelson there. Completely unselfish. Either one could have taken it on. Wonderful play from United. That all started from George's brilliant header. And taking the ball there. Wonderfully done. It wasn't a header, it was taking the ball from behind. Wonderful tackle. And United now up by 4-0. And absolutely in cruise control here. But could be a consolation for West Ham perhaps. Oh, and okay, the ball just went around her there. Too far away. A bad throw from Kingsbury, to be fair, and a rare mistake. But George is right there to tackle again. She's been tremendous. This United side has been title-worthy. Certainly not all season long, but definitely for the most majority of it. That's a great challenge by the West Ham defender there. Took Somali with her, but got the ball first. And it leads into a multi-woman substitution for Mike Skinner. But first, Parvey is going off for West Ham. I think that's Gorey is coming on. For Manchester United, Nolsend is going off for Watson. Marland is going off for Clinton. And I think, is it Somali or Toon that went off for Davidson there? And we hear that Somali actually got hurt in that challenge earlier. No surprise there, it was pretty much a crunchy tackle. Even though it was relatively fair, because the West Ham player did get the ball first. So, well, it was Tillin that went off for Davidson then. And here's Clinton. Oh, she scores a fifth. Right after coming on. Instant impact from her. And Toon did stay on, so Skinner is playing a bit of a risk here. I thought Toon would have been one of the first players to go off. She's gone down a couple of times in this game. But Clinton with so much space, picking it out in the corner. And United just look unplayable at the moment. Will that early season blip where they were inconsistent at best really come back to haunt United and not have them win this title. For the second half of the season, they've absolutely and utterly deserved it. But that blip where they lost to Arsenal and Chelsea in particular early in the season and had that drama with the goalkeeper, that was more off the pitch than on it, supposedly. Mike Skinner maintains that he was rather animated towards his own team. That match against Chelsea was certainly a boiling point in the season for him, and it forced him to really make some drastic changes in signing. Somali's gone down again, and that could be a booking. And Somali went down somewhat hurt earlier, and that's not going to improve things. And Pupil is going into the book. Well, that was more of a rash challenge than the one Somali had on earlier, because the West Ham player got the ball first. There's no ball involved in that. Mike Skinner calling for a red card, I guess. We have had a lot of red cards this year. It's somewhat kind of been less in the second half, for sure. And Letitia took that, or Blundell, or someone took that free kick wonderfully and found Ella Toon with it. Now here she is, probably absolutely desperate for a return goal. She's picked out Davison instead, and it's gone through the keeper for 6-0. And Manchester United have absolutely took West Ham to school. What an absolutely stunning performance in this game. And they're probably not even out of second gear. That's the scary thought. Well, Davison rather trying to do that with precision, and it went through the keeper. It's unfortunate, really. It happens. But United have just been too strong in every area of this pitch today. With 5 minutes to go, it's another big scoring game. West Ham United 0, Manchester United 6. An absolutely scintillating performance so far. Let's hope they don't concede right now. And Uke misses. And that's West Ham's afternoon summed up. Well, it wasn't a bad effort, to be fair. Did Kingsbury actually get there? She did not. But it probably would have been a save regardless. Well, for Manchester United, it's been an absolute field day and a statement of intent that when Chelsea come to Old Trafford, they will not have it as easy as they did last time. Because that was a scintillating performance by Chelsea and Ritten and Ramirez in particular. I don't think Sam Kerr even featured in that game at that point. I think she could be nursing an injury. We haven't really heard a lot from her all season. But even with that, Chelsea have still stacked. And of course he gets it clear, but United are far away the better side as we approach the 90th minute. And for added on time, Glory gets past George. 5 minutes added on. Here's Uke, and the shot is straight at the keeper, and Kingsbury makes another vital save. A total game-changing signing by Mike Skinner, which has really solved all of United's earlier problems. Davidson with a chance here. 7-0. It's over. Well, it's been over for a long time, to be fair, but Davidson just makes even more sure of it. Well, she was signed as a free agent. She didn't have a club. And she's landed at United and found her feet instantly, to be fair. And a wonderful pass. West Ham United, just no answer. And this title race is going down to the wire, whether Chelsea like it or not. They probably wouldn't, because they will be fearful of what they could face when they arrive at Old Trafford in a few weeks' time. Because right now, United look home and dry to beat them on this current form. So Marley to Clinton. Could they get an eighth before time runs out? Ella Toon! Oh, no. Oh, that's unfortunate. And Ella Toon was frustrated there. You could probably understand. She probably wants a goal for her comeback here, but she has been influential today. She's got everything but a goal, unfortunately. Well, West Ham haven't been bad or appalling by any means. It's just Manchester United have just been so much better all afternoon in all areas. West Ham had no chance of fighting a side that's in a purple vein of form such as this. And they continue their charge towards Chelsea. But we hear that Chelsea may have won already in their game as well. So it looks like the league chase will carry on. But it all is all going to come down to that flashpoint. But United need to win all the games in between. But there's no real danger of that not happening, because United have scored from all angles, from all sorts of players, with all sorts of scenarios. And West Ham just had nothing in response. Manchester United have had an easy day of it. West Ham 0, Manchester United 7. So let's have a look at all the matches from this weekend and what that means for the table. And not much is different. Arsenal win again by 2-1 against Leicester City. Chelsea, as we said, have won again, so it is as you were at the top. Liverpool have also won in a season which has been pretty dire for them. That'll be a nice welcome 3 points, winning by 2-1. Spurs lost to Aston Villa by a goal to nil. And Manchester City do keep somewhat pressure on the top two ahead of them, with a 3-0 win against Everton. So Chelsea, Manchester United status quo. Manchester City's status quo as well. Arsenal probably won't catch them with about 4 games left. But they will consolidate fourth, because West Ham are already on 23 points right now. Leicester City, and good 6th place finish for them this year, it looks like. But Spurs and Everton are in hot pursuit. And Everton, that'll be a boost. Their last game was at Goodison Park for the Women's Super League anyway, are coming up, as well as the Premier League as well. We will go down in just a second. So I would say Man City is still in with a chance mathematically looking at that. Crystal Palace are 9th, followed by Aston Villa, Brighton in 11th, and Liverpool now with a chance to get off the bottom. With their win against Brighton today, that brings them to win 1 point of them. A vital win in a pretty unusual season for them, let's say.